So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this installment of Let Me Show You. Today I want to show you Heroes of Might and Magic 2, The Succession Wars and The Prize of Loyalty. It is a turn-based strategy game that was released in 1996 with an expansion in 1997. The original game was called The Succession Wars, and then The Prize of Loyalty was the expansion released in 1997. The game takes place in the magical land of Erathia, or Enroth, and it follows, of course, Heroes of Might and Magic 1, in which the canonical ending was that the King Morglin won, the Human King, and he had two sons, Roland and Archibald Ironfist. And, well, heroes take place in the Succession Wars, in which Morglin has passed away, and Archibald has, through a series of coups, taken control and had Roland exiled. So it's a battle between good and evil. Roland is the good character and Archibald is the evil character. As I said, it's a turn-based strategy game, so you have a lot of time to think about your decisions and things like that. And usually at this time we'll go into the options menu, but as you can see, there are no options. So let's just go into new game. You can select standard game, which is sort of like a scenario. You pick a map and you play it out. There's small maps, large maps, everything in between, and you have a different set of different lose circumstances and win circumstances. So this one is that you oh, here we have all of them actually. So your side defeat the opposing side. You have allies in this game, and then of course you have losses as well. So this is the normal playthrough if you want, because while the campaigns are fun in this game, the replay value really lies in the scenario system, and the Prize of Loyalty then adds a lot of different, more maps, things like that, a lot of new maps and more scenario-like maps. And then we have the campaign. The original campaign you could either play, as I said, if we just skip that,
your lord.
You can play as Archibald or Roland. Archibald is the side of evil, so you can play either of the three evil races that are Barbarian, Warlock and Necromancer. With Roland you can choose the three good races, Knight, Sorceress and Wizard. And the game is called Might and Magic, and that's because each of the factions have, a side of that they apply. We have the Knights and their evil counterparts, the Barbarians. They start without spell books. Their heroes gain a lot of strength and defense, but not so much magic power or knowledge. Whilst we have the Sorceress and the Warlock that, they're obviously magic based, and so are the Necromancers and the Wizards. So if we want to pick a campaign here, because you can actually not go back to the menu, which is an interesting feature, there's no way to go back to select a scenario instead, so let's jump into Roland's campaign here.
My faithful.
And so Roland needs you to defeat the lords near his castle to begin his war of rebellion. Actually, let's go back, because whilst the campaigns are good, that's not really what I want to show you. I want to show you normal gameplay in this game. So let's start a standard game, and before that, just to go back to something else, we do have multiplayer games, and you can either play them over network, modem or direct connect. All of these requires two computers, of course, or you can play Hot Seat, which was very popular with me when me and my friends when we were younger, and that's basically all players playing on the same computer. So if I'd like to, I could use my alter ego there and just start a map and Broken Alliance, and then I can select which teams I want to play. But it feels a bit sad to play a Hot Seat game with myself, so instead I'll just pick an original map. Broken Alliance sounds good. Let's play as green because I like green. And then you can select the game difficulty, of course. Easy gives you more starting resources. Your enemies or the AI gets less starting resources, and the enemies and AI become more stupid, and so up until impossible, where you start with nearly no resources. The enemies have large resource piles, and you're generally screwed. But normal sounds good. So green, and then I can select my class or race if you want. Knight, the good might kind, the barbarian, the evil might. We have sorceress, one of the good magic classes. We have warlock, one of the evil magic classes. We have wizards and necromancers. So I like to play as the wizards, so let's select those. There we go, and start the game. So this is the map. This is where you run around. This is where you do everything. I have my hero. I have my town or my keep. And if you look around on the map, this is all that I have discovered so far. I have a couple of piles of gold lying around and a couple of treasure chests and campfire. There's a lot of things to discover on the normal map. I never really understood how much this is until I've played some other games. There are a lot of other good games like this out there. Disciples come to mind, but nothing is quite as good as Heroes of Might and Magic. It's just so much to do, so much to see. I love the small animations, and the world just feels alive in another way. I mean, this is what, 2 different states, but it really feels like the river is flowing. So we have the adventure map here, and then of course we have a mini map. It's not so exciting right now. I have my castle and 2 unclaimed resources and a bit of beach. I think, yeah, beach digging. Okay, that's nice that they let me dig there. So then we have a list of all my heroes. I have 1. And all of my keeps and towns and castles. I also have 1. Then we have some adventure options. This one focuses back on the hero. This one, if I tell the hero to move, that one executes the movement. I can also just double click if I want to do that. This one shows up a tab of all of my heroes, my income things and things like that. All of my towns and castles if you want to look at it like that. This one is if I want to cast any spells, but of course I'm just a wizard, so I have no spells to cast, or actually all my spells are battle spells at the moment. This one is end turn, but I don't want to do that just yet, seeing as I haven't done anything. This one brings up the adventure options, such as view the entire map in another way, see if I want to dig for the hidden obelisk or the hidden treasure, see the obelisk puzzle. Of course I haven't found anything yet, so that doesn't show me much. And info, what is this map about, who is in it with me. So we have actually 1 of each class. That's fantastic. And victory conditions, defeat all enemy heroes and capture all enemy towns and castles. I figure I'll play until about the first castle, when I get the first castle, so you can see how you build up your town, how you build up your army. And these heroes, they have a set amount of movement points. That's those yellow points right here. So say I want to get this gold, because gold is good, and then I want to go down and maybe get this wood, because wood is one of the most important resources in the beginning. So let's start to get a sawmill there. Get that out, piece of wood. Now I can't move anymore. Here it says number 2. That means that it'll take me 2 turns to get there. Over here it's 3 turns. Yeah. If you listen, I actually like the audio in this game. Now you can hear that I'm in a sawmill. I'm standing there. It just gives a lot of ambience. I actually wanted to show you the full soundtrack, but there's a problem with that. You do actually have some game options here. So if I want to take jump, for instance, that means my enemies move instantly. But I think gallop is quite good. Videos should be normal. Mouse cursor, yeah, color is good. The mouse color is always color in the DOS version of Heroes 2. Of course, I'm playing through DOSBox, so yeah. Yeah, the music type. I wanted to show you the full CD stereo with Opera. The problem is, if you check the volume, note, when using CD stereo music in DOS, the music may only be turned on or off. The level has no effect. So the volume level, I can't change that, and the music just becomes way too loud, so you wouldn't be able to hear me talk. And I hope that you like to listen to me, otherwise you wouldn't watch this video. So the town then. If we go into the town, this is the town view. Here is the defenders that I have. I currently have none. That's, well, sad. Here is if it's any visiting hero. And if I buy a captain for my town, I can actually see them somewhere. So right now I have 2 buildings. I have my castle, and I have my halfling hollow habitat. So I can recruit some halflings here, 8 of them. Yay, now I have defenders. Buying units will cost you gold. Some very powerful units also cost an additional resource. And the resources that we have is wood and ore. You need that for nearly every building in the game, either or. You don't need both, but you usually need one of them. Some buildings can be bought with only gold. Then we have sulfur, which can be collected from sulfur pits or sulfur mines. We have crystal, we have mercury, and gems. So these are the 4 speciality resources, and then we have the 2 normal ones, and gold. So each race relies more on one of these resources than the rest. Knights, for instance, need crystals, so do barbarians. Warlocks need sulfur, and wizards need gems, and that's to build the final building, the tier 6 building, the cloud castle that will let me recruit giants. So I would need 20 gems to buy that. And in all of the towns, if you click on the castle, you go into this building menu where you can build your buildings. And the top 6, or these 2 rows here, are always the creatures of your chosen race. So for wizards, I have halflings, or the halfling habitat. I have boars in the boar pen. I have golems through the foundry. I have rocks through the cliff nest, then mages, and then giants. Along with this, all races can build a mage guild. Wizards, the race I'm playing, can actually upgrade their mage guild through the library. All of the groups have a special thing right here. And then you have the Thieves Guild that lets you see enemy movements and things like that. You have the Tavern where you can hear rumors. And the statue, always begin with building the statue. It gives you additional 250 gold per day. It costs 5 ore and 1,250 gold. So you'll get that back quite fast. And, well, you're going to need gold. Every race needs gold. So now I don't have a lot of things left to do. I have 7,500 gold though. So if I go back into town, go into the castle, I can recruit another hero. So I can pick between Mandigal the wizard and Falagar the warlock. So seeing as I'm playing the wizards, I'm going to go with Mandigal. Every hero that you recruit comes with a small force. You can never have a hero without units. It simply won't let me do that. So you always need to have at least 1 unit for each hero. If you want to, you can actually shift click and divide him up like that, but I'm not going to do that right now. So now I have a brand new hero, and he actually gets to move on his very first turn. So let's send him up to get this ore, so that I get an ore income right away. Oh, he's actually not fast enough. Oh well. There we go. Now I can end the turn. So day 2. Let's move around. If we look around here, we have a couple of NPCs out on this map. If I hover with them, my mouse cursor turns to a sword. Lots of veteran pikemen. I have 9 halflings and 4 boars. I'm not going to challenge that right now. After scouring the area, you fall upon a hidden treasure cache. You may take the gold or distribute the gold to the peasants for experience. So I can either get 2,000 gold to my treasury, or this hero can get 1,500 experience. I'm actually going to go with the gold right now. Later on, I usually pick experience once my gold is settled, but right now I really just want to build my infrastructure and my income. A group of halflings with a desire for greater glory wish to join you. Yeah, sure. Great, now I have much more halflings. A gazebo. Yeah, let's visit that. So, this is what I love. You just have so many things on the map that you can run around. Oh yeah, now I get 2 additional ore per day. Ransacking an enemy camp, you discover a hidden cache of treasures. Awesome. Ooh, mercenary camp. Let's see what I can get over there. So, back into town. You can only build 1 building a day. That's worth noting. So I want to get as many creature buildings up as I can. So okay, I want to get the ivory tower because the magi are actually quite powerful. So I need a mage guild and I need a foundry and a whole lot of resources. So the foundry, well, let's get that. There we go. Now I can recruit iron golems. And some buildings, like the foundry, can actually be upgraded to provide an even better unit. So the Habitat is at its max level from the beginning. The Pen only has 1 level. The Cliff Nest only has 1 level. But the Foundry can be upgraded to produce steel golems instead of iron golems, because everybody knows that steel beats iron. And again, I'm finished. So let's visit the gazebo. An old knight appears on the steps of the gazebo. My liege, I will teach you that all I know. So, I have gained a level. Spell power +1. That means all of my spells will either have a longer duration or do more damage and things like that. So, Mysticism or Scouting. Scouting, I believe, lets me see more, yes. And Mysticism regenerates 2 of your hero's spell points per day. No, I'm going to go with Scouting. Lots of archers. Again, no. You can see here that you have lots, you have horde, lots. All of these represent a different amount, of course. I think lots is 20 to 30 or 20 to 40. A horde is 40 to 100 or something like that. So it's all different levels and you learn them as you play. You come upon a mercenary camp, practicing their tactics. The mercenaries welcome you and your troops and invite you to train with them. Attack skill +1. Great, attack skill. If we go into the hero, I have 4 different skills, as I said. The might skills and the magic skills. And attack skill actually raises the attack skill of all of my units. So my halfling have a base attack skill of 2, but seeing as my hero has 1, they actually get 3. And this affects how much damage they do, of course. So let's see what more is here. A lot of treasure chests. And a witch's hut. And a shrine of the second circle. And another gazebo, it looks like. So that's good. But before I finish this turn, let's build another building. And the Ivory Tower requires that I build a mage guild. So let's do that. The level 1 mage guild actually doesn't cost that much. 5 wood, 5 ore, and 2,000 gold. But if I go back and I want to build a second level, the cost has increased significantly, adding 4 mercury, 4 sulfur, 4 crystal, and 4 gems. And that's because, well, magic is expensive. So, my hero wants to collect the treasure chests. Let's get some more gold. And then go down and look at the gazebo. So, it looks like I have enemies in most directions. To the north, I have... let's see, lots of goblins. Let's see what this gives me. Ballistics, that's actually pretty neat. Ballistics increases the chance that you have to destroy a castle's walls when you lay siege to it. Each hero can have up to, I believe, 8 skills. I believe there are 14 in total in the game, so you have to choose, pick the ones that you really want. Some of them nearly all heroes should have. Wisdom helps with getting spells. Logistics makes you move faster, and leadership gives you a morale boost in combat. So every hero should have some of them, but some of them are very special for specific hero types or play styles. Another level, navigation or ballistics. Well, I am going to go with ballistics because whilst you can see the ocean here, it's actually not as much water on this map as you'd think. Navigation is only good on water. So let's get another treasure chest. Okay, I'm getting a lot of gold now, but that's just good. So what can he do? He can see what's in the Shrine of the Second Circle. Oh, Cold Ray. So these shrines, what they do is they teach you spells from different tiers that you might not have yet. Leprechaun offers you the gambler's lucky coin for a small price of 2,000 gold. Increases your luck in combat. Well, luck is always nice, so let's go for that. I have quite a lot of cash now for being this early on. The Ivory Tower is mine, yes. So now I can recruit the Magi. The Magi are a ranged unit with quite a good attack skill, do a lot of damage, and they're also unique in that usually when you're attacked by in close combat, if a ranged unit is attacked in close combat, they attack back with half force. But the mages actually do full damage even in close combat. That's good. Oh, not all of my units have moved as much as they can. Let's go and pick up those mages. So, day 6. Every week, these troops come back. So, every week I have a production of, if I buy the well actually increases the growth rate. So if I check the well, I have a growth rate of 4 per week for my Magi and 10 per week for my Halflings. So every week I get 10 Halflings, I get 4 Magi, and yeah, that just goes. The first of every week I can pick them up. Well, I have to buy them, but... So let's see, lots of Centaurs. No, we're not attacking that just yet. A Witch's Hut. Let's see what I get. I usually use a secondary hero, such as this one, to collect all of the Witch's Hut, because you never know what you're going to get, and you might get a skill that you really don't want for your hero. But seeing as I'm not going to finish this map anyways, let's just check it out. Oh, navigation, the one that I didn't want on this hero. So usually I would have been kind of irritated, but hey. Oh, look over here, a gold mine. That would be nice to have. A gold mine gives you an additional 1,000 gold per day. And down here we have a sulfur mine. We have... Those are all the mines I see. Oh, I actually haven't taken the observation tower yet. I should do that. Oh, now I can see a lot more. So here we have a gem mine. That would be good for me. I need that to produce my giants. We have an alchemist lab. Up here is something as well. An obelisk. What's more down here then? Oh, look, a castle. An enemy castle. Dragon Tooth. Defenders unknown. That looks like a sorcerer's castle. So let's go for that. Go back and collect my Magi. And, well, all of my exits here are actually closed. I have centaurs and archers so I can't really get past this just yet. So let's just, well, collect my armies, build up my forces, and do that for a couple of turns. Let's see, it's actually turn 7 now? Yeah, perfect. So I have my ivory tower, I have my my things like that. So either I could go for an additional 8 halflings per week, or I could build a pen so that I get boars. I'm actually going to do that. Because seeing as it's day 7, today I get more boars. And that's like nice. I get an additional 8. That helps a lot. It's the week of the Raven. All dwellings increase population. This actually matters. Each month they select a month of something. So if it would have been, for instance, month of the Magi, I would have gotten twice or double the population in Magi, and also around the map they would have placed groups of Magi like this. And also there is month of the plague. I think that can even be a week of the plague. And if you have any unbought units, so now I have 4 mages available to buy, it slashes that number in half. So that can be quite dangerous. So 6 mages, that's wonderful. 14 boars and 10 halflings, along with 10 golems. But I'm actually going to buy the upgraded foundry before I get the golems. So I get steel golems instead that have a lot more in defensive skill and hit points. Then he can go pick them up. There we go. He can give those units to this so that I collect all of my units on the same character. That's quite good to do. I'm going to split those because mages are so good in the beginning that... Yeah, I can split those. I'm going to leave 1 halfling with him so I can take the golems. There we go. And get the coin. Get the coin! There we are. Let's destroy those centaurs now. I mean, there are lots of them, but I have a horde of halflings and a pack of mages. If I get... There we go. Oh, look, an enemy. It is a warlock, the blue warlock. He has a pack of centaurs, a few gargoyles, a few griffins, and a lot of halflings. Oh, those treacherous little halflings. Half-wits. The centaurs, awed by the power of your forces, begin to scatter. Do you wish to pursue and engage them? Well, no. Centaurs are ranged units, so they would be able to kill a few of my mages, and I really don't want to lose them before I try to take this castle down here. Let's go here. So, as I said, what makes heroes so special is that they just have all of these animations. I mean, the smoke from the chimney, again, what is that, 4 frames? But it does so much. It just makes it feel more alive. The gates that are shining, and the NPCs just moving around out on the map, and it it feels much more living than most of these games do. Usually they're just static. It feels like a board game almost. Don't get me wrong, I love board games, but you could do so much more with a computer game like this. And there we go. And let's get a building done. Let's build a cliff nest now. The rocks that I haven't built, I mean, in no way is this the perfect build orders, because rocks are actually a very good unit, so I should probably have bought them before this and brought them with my army, but hey, I didn't, so let's see if it works out anyways. Did that? Oh! Actually, just before this, I have a problem with gold now. I need more gold, but I am so close to attacking this, so if I choose experience and gain a level, which I didn't, that was stupid, that would actually have supported me in my attack. So we have lots of pixies, a pack of dwarfs, lots of halflings. Why do everybody have halflings? They are so treacherous. I'm going to disband mine. And several unicorns. That's actually dangerous. And a few monks. So I don't really want to attack her castle when she has all of that. So I'm just going to go here and collect this artifact instead. No, I'm not. And you get back to town. There we go. So he doesn't have a lot of stuff left to do because he's just too weak. This, I think, is quite annoying, that you see something on the map and it's like, yeah, that's something that I want to know what it is. It's just artifacts. What is that? I don't know. Especially when they are so specific with a lot of other things. Like, this is a fountain. This is a treehouse. Treehouse? Oh well. This is an ancient tree of knowledge. Oh, just a tree of knowledge. So, there is a lot of things to find on this map. Even when you've collected all of it, you still have these witches' huts and Shrine of the First Circles and gazebos and halfling holes and things like that. Oh my. Oh well. So. Oh, she left her town. I wonder if she left. Okay, should I go for her or for the town? The Pendant of Life makes all of your troops immune to death spells. This would be a very good artifact if I was facing the Necromancer. And if we look at the info, I think I am facing a Necromancer. Yeah, the red player. However, the red player is not around right now, so I'm not going to care. So let's go and affect Dragon Tooth. So, here we are. Oh look, my ballistics helped. I smashed through his defenses of turn 1. So this is a siege. This is the battle map. This is the first fight that we have. This is a siege, so it's quite special. The enemy has guard towers. He has built up 2 of them. You have the main one that you always have, and you can choose to build the right, the right and the left one, or the left and the right, I don't know. But he has only built up 1 of those. These are going to fire at my units every turn and do a couple of hit points of damage. They're most likely going to aim for either my halflings or my mages. And this is a moat, so no creature can actually pass the moat in 1 turn. You always have to go into it, and then the next turn I can go past it. And as I said, they're going for my halflings. The enemy has a couple of elves and a couple of druids. Oh, druids, not monks, sorry. So they have attacked me now. These haven't, so I'm actually going to go for these. And see if I can lower their damage potential. There we are. Let's get them. Well, I don't think my golems are going to do a lot of good in this match, but hey. So, as I said before, a ranged unit... Oh, come on. Let me get out of the mode. Oh, a ranged unit can't attack with its ranged attack if it has a close combat or any unit standing next to it, because that unit will block the ranged attack. So this druid will only be able to attack my boar now, or yeah, like that. Okay, I lost a couple of things. I lost 3 mages and 32 halflings. However, I gained a level, which is nice. Wisdom or Estates. Estates is a very good skill to have on a secondary hero. What it does is, as you can see, it gives you tax revenue. It increases your income. But I don't want it on my primary hero because it's not really a combat skill. So I'm going to go with Wisdom. And like this, I've gained another town. With a much better mage skill than mine. That's nice. So this is the sorcerer town. As you can see, it's quite different from my wizard one. Instead, I have the castle over here. It's a much nicer place. They also have, as I said, the 6 units. And instead of the library, I have a rainbow. And the rainbow increases the luck of defending units by 2. That's quite a lot. What luck means is that in-game, or in the combat, when you hit someone, you have a good chance to do double damage if you're very lucky. The other skill is called leadership, and what that does is that if you have a high leadership, you have a chance to act twice in one turn. That's also quite good. I'd like to just show you a normal combat. I think she's just going to bypass me now and go back to town. That was stupid. Because you don't have a zone of influence, so enemies can just bypass you if they'd like. Let's see if we can afford any defenders, or have she bought everything? There is nothing to buy here. Okay, so they also have quite the different unit tree. They have sprites, battle dwarfs, elves, druids, unicorns, and phoenixes. And phoenixes is actually the fastest unit in the game, with speed ultra fast. Oh well. Let's end this turn, and of course she goes back to that. Let's see if I can find some other unit just to fight out on the battlefield. You found a group of druids worshipping at one of their strange stone edifices. Silently they teach you new ways to cast spells. Spell power, yay! And wolves, lots of wolves. I am gonna get eaten up. Wolves are actually quite dangerous this early on in the game, but let's see if I can win this. Okay, so I have Cold Ray. Let's cast a Cold Ray. Does 100 damage. That's actually quite good. So each unit has a hit point stat, and how much damage you do, of course, affects how many kills. So if you do more damage than they have HP, then they lower their numbers by 1 or several, and yeah. Skip. So let's get that one. Oh, that's luck. Good luck's changed on the Magi, so they do 95 damage. Usually their maximum damage would have been 27 plus the attack skill. I don't exactly know how you calculate it, but I know that if you have a higher attack skill than the enemy has defensive skill, you do more damage. It's that simple. And so my golems go into combat, doing a lot of damage. Yeah, wolves are special in that usually when you attack someone, if I were to hit this and he didn't die, he's gonna die. He would get to retaliate, and then that would be that. But wolves actually attack someone, then they retaliate on the wolves, and then the wolves get to attack again. So they're quite special in that. You can see that now. Whilst if my golem were to attack, yeah, he doesn't get to hit twice. Only wolves do that. There we go. 780 experience. Experience is actually quite easy to calculate. You get 1 experience per HP of what you kill. So these wolves have 780 HP, so that's how much experience I get. Leadership is one of the best skills in the game, so let's get that. Now we have Abandoned Mine, guarded by a horde of ghosts. No, I'm not going to go for that. As I said, I wanted to play until I conquered the first town. I have done so, and it's very easy to get stuck in this game with just one more turn mentality. If you want to pick up one of the best turn-based games in the world, you should definitely look at Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I like this game a lot, and I will actually later on be reviewing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 as well. That is in many ways a straight up improvement of this game. I think this game has more charm. I like the graphics more. I think it's more of a, I don't know, it has a certain appeal to me. Might be that I played this game first, but both of them are extremely well made games. They're enjoyable. They're not always as balanced as they should be. The Warlock race is very good, and the Wizard are very good as well, whilst the Knights might not be as good. But they're very enjoyable games, and if you're a fan of the turn-based genre, you've most likely already played them. If you haven't, get them. They're just that good. I'll post a link down in the video description where you can pick it up at GOG.com. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day.